For everybody tuning in so far, thanks for tuning in. We've got Marco Paoletti coming in to tell us a little about himself, his juggling life, and what's so awesome about juggling to him. You'll also notice a little pip of Soggy down there. Soggy's mic isn't working, so and somehow he got here. We're glad he's here. So we may throw him into the conversation every once in a while, but you're only going to get a thumbs up and a thumbs down. So Marco, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about yourself, where you're from, how long you've been juggling, what you're most excited about when it comes to juggling right now.
Awesome. So I'm
actually
36.
Hold on. Yep. I'm sorry, everybody. Share this video so that more people can join us. And I also forgot to tell you, you can win a Salt City prop by asking a question in the comments. All right, back to you, Marco.
Awesome. So I started juggling 14 years ago. I'm 36 years old. I was born in Argentina. Now I am in Argentina. And I studied philosophy. After that, in a moment, I found juggling balls and I wanted to travel around the world. Really, what I wanted to do was to travel around the world. So first I thought, okay, maybe I'll do photography, maybe with animals, because I like a lot animals. And suddenly my cousin comes with a bottle and tells me, look, I'm learning flair with some stilts that I fall down 20 million times and 3 juggling balls. In the farm, far away with no Wi-Fi. And there I started. Then all this transformation went through. I was very interested for side swaps. Side swap for me that you could, because so much information. I learned how to juggle through internet, through pre-YouTube. Before YouTube, a guy called, I will find it, Olaf was his name. It was the only place Juggler aquarium, I think it was. So as pre-YouTube people, to upload the video, it took me 24 hours to send it to Canada. And a guy spent 24 hours more to upload it to his site. Those were the first videos, really long time ago. Why I'm telling you this? Because there's a generation of jugglers that we learn through internet. There's a lot of them. And today, so many generations are learning a lot of things through internet. Today, if you put a tutorial of how to boil an egg or how to build up an earthship or how to construct a bridge, you have it. And I think this is a very important point about something that we can talk about. Because what happened? People learn how to juggle through the internet, but not so many became professional circus artists. And maybe what I would like to share is this path coming from philosophy, learning how to juggle through the internet when there was nothing, not even the videos of Toby Walker before, not even the Anthony Gatto forum. This was ages ago. And then this transformation or path in becoming a circus artist, because a juggler is a piece of all these octopus, let's say, that is circus. You know who, Sagi, a question for you. Do you know when kids or people that go to circus school juggle when it's not their discipline? Again, what? This was very strange when I started teaching in circus school, yeah? I never went to circus school. I entered a circus school when I was teaching. And my dream was to go to a circus school. It's like the most wonderful places ever. You go in and you have the clown, you have the portor, the big guy that puts the girl up, you have the aerialists, the acrobats, and you have the jugglers. And everybody needs to learn a little bit everything. So the question is, do you know when the people that do the other disciplines juggle? Do you know when? When they are tired or when they are injured. Like juggling is like, everybody's like, oh yeah, the juggler, he's over there. It's like we are very, the psychology of the juggler is always a little bit on the side. The guy that has the headphones and juggles all the time alone. So many people came to juggling conventions and they told me, man, it's 200 people with headphones throwing things in the air that fall down and picking it up again. And it's like with all respect, but it's like an autistic room of people, just missing the punchy, and even in some conventions you have the and the music. Just long story short, to tell you how I would like to share a little bit what happened to me, how it has been such a long journey and a beautiful one of 14 years. And today I am a circus artist,
Mm.
or an artist, or an actor, or an interpret. You know what interpret means? It's correct in English?
Uh,
Interpret, the
I
word?
I know what interpret means, but I'm not sure what it means in this context.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay.
interpretive dancing, that sort of thing, or
Yeah,
interpretive
and
performance.
interpreted of, yes, of visions of someone else, like
Hmm.
a director. Yes. Now I work in a company, right? It's called Compañía Fincipasca, and it's about, we call it acrobatical theater. We don't say that it's circus. Yes, and it's very important because this company is taking this philosophy forward, and we are interpret of his visions, yeah, what he wants to say on stage. Because you can be an actor, but if you ask me, are you an actor? I don't know so much. I make an interpretation of what my director tells me that he wants on stage, and I do my best. Yes, so that's a little bit why there's all so many these possibilities to talk about of what is happening today in my professional life that maybe is interesting. And Sagi went away.
He did. He did. I don't know where he went.
Well, I hope he didn't get angry.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So you're. So this is what you're excited about right now is kind of thinking about all these different facets of how your juggling kind of career has developed.
I think it's an interesting point also because for the audience or for the people to listen, maybe it's interesting. I would like also to talk about something that is interesting
Hmm.
for everyone. Let's say, for me, juggling has been my glasses to understand reality.
Mm.
So it's my lifestyle. It was a long time my environment, and today my environment is changing, and it has been changing a lot for the last years. Yes, with this theater transformation, with the circus transformation, I learned how to do cirwheel. You know, cirwheel, the ring. That,
Hmm.
yeah. Well, and that's why I tell you circus artist. If not, I
Hmm.
tell you I'm a juggler. But being a juggler, for many years it was that, but I believe that we are not only one thing. So it's not only I'm a juggler, or I am this. In many different situations we are a lot of possibilities, let's say.
So when you say that you view life through the glasses of juggling, or however you phrase that, what does that mean for like how you approach the sear wheel or other circus arts?
Interesting. Before I manipulated objects, and suddenly an object started to manipulate me.
Mm,
That was the transformation.
mm,
I was inside the ring. I was inside the ball. Now we throw the objects, and suddenly you are inside. And that was amazing. That was really, and also, Sear wheel is very physical and very mental because the spinning, we as jugglers is very difficult. We go into dizziness or low pressure, all these type of things. When you juggle, you can get tired. When you do pirouettes, yeah, you can get dizzy. But imagine how many pirouettes you do while you're doing sear wheel.
mm.
So, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like watching ice skaters and wondering how they do that. So what is it you think keeps you going? Why do you keep juggling? Or for you, it's juggling isn't just juggling. It's kind of driven you to explore all kinds of different things. What's kind of driven you to do that?
Good question. Um, today, today juggling for me is in the sharing part. Absolutely. Before it was in the understanding. I trained myself alone for many years. Yeah, I was autodidact, And then when I went to live to Germany and I was in Catacomben, beautiful, like it was the mecca of juggling, and today it's coming back.
Mm.
I don't know if you know about, Jonglier Catacomben in Berlin.
Mm-mm.
You know Daniel Schultz, a good friend from the US?
I know of him. I don't know him.
Okay, bueno, he's an amazing, amazing person that has done a lot of research in side swaps and creating like table games of juggling.
Mm-hmm.
So, like another person that went very far away in his research because he came over there from the US. It's the place that is every day a juggling convention. And you go down the stairs, and every day it's where Stefan Singh trains, where Yosh and Valerie, the ones that did the Cascade of Stars of the IGA, when we did it together, like in Quebec. I think it's 1 or 2 years ago of the IGA.
Mm-hmm.
And I trained there really, really long. And there, juggling was to understand. For me, in my opinion, juggling is the research of understanding gravity.
Mm.
Like we are like, throwing something and catching it back, throwing and catching, and we spend the time like, what is happening? What is happening? Okay, variation, somebody, but really it's this and this, and there was something very special, and we like it. We are still mesmerized. And if you have this thing of seeing this 5 ball pattern or whatever thing that you want to train or juggle, and now it's moving a lot. Yes, for me, traveling so much around the world, I travel a lot, and I like it. This was my dream. My dream was to travel around the world.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that for me is a little like a mantra, something that you repeat a lot and you have your ritual, let's say, for it, is 5 ball pattern.
Mm-hmm.
If I juggle the 5 ball pattern, I understand how I am emotionally,
Mm.
how my body feels. Yeah, it's something that I repeat, and I pushed myself to understand, okay, now the arm here is a little tired. Oof, the pattern is so rushed. I am rushed. I need to breathe slower. And my juggling, and I think juggling itself or art itself is a reflection of yourself. When you see someone training, you see how he treats his objects or how he trains, and it's a reflection of himself.
Mm.
And I believe that art, it's a reflection and a expression, and it can be of a culture too, like humor. Humor also. Humor is not the same in every culture. Art is not the same in every culture, and they tell different stories, and they're in different moments. If you see how the actual juggling world is moving today, it's very different.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I was showing to Sagi that very small manipulation trick, if you say, and with all respect to the Japanese jugglers normally, at least before, it's an opinion, they don't have a lot of space. I don't know if you've been to Japan, but there's not a lot of space
Mm-hmm.
generally. So all their juggling is very small. It's very closed, it's very tight.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have space, how do you want it to be?
Right.
Why in Latin America there's no so many ring jugglers? Because everybody trains outside and there's
Mm-hmm.
wind.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot take your rings. You need to wait for the day that there's no wind. So some things transform a lot, and yeah, they change a lot. Like the poi community, and if you go to the beach and you have a lot of people spinning pois, I think there is a lot of these things. But I don't want to make a qualification of stuff. It's just an opinion of the
Mm-hmm.
things I've seen traveling.
Yeah. Uh, I want to. I really like the 5 ball analogy and kind of, and I suppose that's probably not. You could probably say the same thing about 3 balls for someone who, maybe only does 3 ball stuff, but kind of looking at, yeah, how relaxed they are, or yeah, I really like everything you said, how tight the pattern is. I think that's a really interesting way to think about and kind of see, kind of to be able to, for both to be able to look at a juggler and say, oh, this person is a little stressed out right now, or but also like introspectively to be like, oh, why am I, when this happens, that usually means this. I don't know. That's cool.
To go there to put some light, let's say, into that. think about juggling as a meditation, or thinking juggling as a meditation, it's like if you say in music, do you have a hardcore or rock and roll, like, or you have meditation music. And I think that with juggling, if we start to be a little more precise or searching in certain places, we could talk about that too. For me today, if I juggle, that I don't train, I perform now. So mainly it's performance, yeah, doing the show. Um, but as I was telling you before, juggling emotions, juggling feelings. I believe I liked more to juggle that today, juggle human relations. And juggling has been great to understand and to say, this is who I am and this is what I can share. And it has opened so many doors for me in every country. It's like smile. Smile is universal. You smile no matter where, it makes something.
Mm-hmm.
And with juggling, it has been the same, and more today. I'm really happy that it has been a key to open a lot of doors.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. All right, well, let's take a couple viewer questions. And for anybody who wasn't here in the beginning, you can win a Salt City prop by leaving a comment. In case you're wondering what Salt City props is, here is. Hold on. Here they are. So they got hula hoops and poi and juggling balls and all kinds of cool stuff. You should check them out. Yeah, Salt City Props is awesome. Now, how do I get back in this?
Portland. That was my first IGA. There in Portland.
Oh, yeah?
Oof. It was when Jerome Thomas was there. This is ages ago.
Okay.
And Frida Oden-Brickman, the one that juggled 3 balls all the time, the same pattern. Have you seen that? She
I've
always
not.
juggles the same pattern, the same 3-ball cascade, but in all different places of her body. Really, really nice. From when the Jay, Maxime, and Ville. Yeah. Pivot video time. Do you know pivot video? 3-ball different ways.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's the one of the one of the beautiful things that I would like to share is look for information because it's there. Pivot videos. It was when they were doing cooking fat. It was Maxime, Ville, Jay, really long time ago, and they were the first VHS video. Actually, I think they're the first juggling DVDs ever created, like ever made. I think so. Yeah, maybe. But they're awesome.
All right, so for anybody who's watching, you can win a set of or a prop, and you can also win an IJA membership and a copy of Lido Ditmar's book. All you got to do is ask a question, and here is one from Andrew Olson. What are your current sources of external inspiration for creating new juggling ideas?
Wow. Leaf falling from a tree. There. Really, I can think about it a little more. I'm doing a lot of research today in feathers. I am juggling feathers. But funny how today the research are very dilated. I don't go anymore 6 hours in a place. Before I was training between 6 to 10 hours a day.
Wow.
Man, when you are 20 years old, you have something to do. Now I'm 36 and I take care of a lot of projects and a lot of other things involved between the humanitarian, social circus, professional life. So directing, choreographing, and I'm really happy with all these variations. But let's go back to the question because I like to. So, where do I find this external in a water drop that is holding from a leaf, in details, in animals, in the manatee? I like a lot the manatee. I don't know, is that the cow, sea cow it's called. We've been doing a lot of juggling underwater now in Mexico, and we were diving, and the footage is there. It will go out someday. And we were taking things underwater, acrylic balls, and and we were doing para juggling, with so in the air, when you go with the parachute.
Yeah, you did that?
Yeah. And the first time it was great. We did it in the European Juggling Convention, and we were juggling on top of the 3,000 jugglers. There's a video and everything there. We did nice editing. Actually, the editing was done by Ori Roth,
Mm.
that is a friend from Sagi. And it was crazy because I was like, man, but if I drop a ball, like we are like 1,000 meters high. And he was like, no, you won't drop a ball. And now I did it again with 4 balls, and I dropped. There was a lot of wind, and I was like,
Did you kill anyone? Or are they okay?
no, everything was okay, but it was on top of a highway. So I was telling to the guy, like, man, go a little more to the forest. So I dropped them on the forest, which was okay, but still. But I'm trying to see how we can juggle in different places or different ways or different situations. But again, how to create new ideas, because there is a very interesting. The question is very detailed. It's very, and it's gyroscopes.
Mhm.
Well, we are creating a piece with gyroscopes, so the gyroscopes are turning,
Mm.
and that's an idea that took more than 4 years to develop, and with harmonic chants. So you know what is harmonic chants?
I can guess.
When you do the two vocals, that you make two sounds when you
Like what monks do?
yeah, okay. Like, yeah, that. But you can do it without being a monk, huh?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Can you do it?
yeah.
What can you show what you mean? Yeah. That is impressive. I'm really impressed right now.
Yeah, and I can do it while I juggle.
Okay. And
um,
you're on a gyroscope apparently.
yes, exactly. And the gyroscopes are made of bicycles, because you know that the bicycle wheel, yeah, not the tire, but the wheel, if you make it turn, it spins the same.
Mhm.
So we are making a lot of figures that spin like gyroscopes, and with all these harmonic chants. And for me today is very interesting, all this work. Juggling is a tool. Juggling is a way of thinking, is a mindset. Once you have that mindset, then you can apply it. This type of manipulation can be applied to a lot of things. I can manipulate this object, for example, and I can manipulate as a juggler, or with the ways that I've learned certain things, the same as you can manipulate this in a certain way. The same as you can manipulate this and play with this and make it go here, and from here it goes here to here. And then the manipulation can be more technical or less technical. But today I am maybe more focused in that, and actually I'm pushing myself to find a new trick. Yes, a new
Mhm.
variation in the end, because um, and I get grab three balls, and we have divided already many years ago the whole body, front, back, and all the spaces, as dance has done, making a lot of these spatial cubes, so you can juggle from here to here to here. And it's funny because once you develop also, you have developed so much in one place that then you keep on bouncing, but inside your structure, let's say,
Mhm.
like, oh, I've been so creative, I push so much my limit, but you're already here. uh, so for certain things, when this question about new ideas, how to go and grab these new objects give you a lot of the
Mhm.
ideas, spending time with those objects. I've done research in every juggling ball that there is in my times, yeah, when it was so stage balls, Russian balls. When it was long time, there was not the industry that there is today of Russian balls. That was a boom the last years.
Mhm.
Bouncing balls, bean bags, and I worked and developed every trick that was the best to be done with that ball. And that was a lot about what happened with my research. But the question again, it's about something else. It's about where you look for the new ideas. Museums, technical museums of Technik museums in Berlin, If you go in Switzerland to Winterthur, it's called Technorama. There's another one in California too. There are museums where all these kinetic sculptures.
Mm.
I'm very, very much interested in everything that moves. And there, I go and fetch ideas or look for ideas there. Now we are doing a lot of research with magnets too, and you've seen what happened the last years with the club magnets. K8 has club magnets since many years too, and um, yeah,
I
if
think
you.
I
Mhm.
think that's a great start for understanding where you come up with your ideas. Um,
Okay.
I mean, you could probably talk for an hour about it, which is awesome.
Yeah. So it's good that you tell me like, okay, enough, change.
No, I mean, we're all interested. Um, and oh yeah, I was gonna say, you mentioned that there was some juggling underwater, and that there's video and it'll be out one day. And you also mentioned that when you started juggling, a big part of it was to juggle around the world, and that reminded me of something else you're starting. And I was wondering if you'd tell us a little bit more about your new YouTube project.
Yes, I'm really happy about it. It's called Juggler World Traveler, and the idea is with all these travelings that I do around the world, the idea is to make videos. They are being edited in Germany, so I tape a lot. I tape with a GoPro, I tape with a drone, and everything. So all the material is there, and then it's edited, and then it's out. And now the first chapter is out. That is in Australia. But the funny thing for me today is that I want to communicate the juggling world and the circus world and the other world, the outside world or the normal world. I don't know
Mm.
how to say it, normal world, juggler world, but I think it's clear for us jugglers. What does that mean? Um, and this is mainly the idea, and is to share these videos, but I'm trying to reach out from the juggling community to the normal people. If you tell me who are the biggest figures today of juggling, or who was the juggler that pushed and went the further, who would it be for you?
For me,
Yeah.
well, I can't. It wouldn't just be one person. Um, uh, there's somebody on my mind that's not coming to mind, but the obvious would be Wes Peden.
But he's
Amaran.
inside the juggling
Oh,
community.
outside the community.
To push it as a juggler, connecting with the outside world.
Who's
Yeah.
doing that?
Mm. Remember that here is juggler talking to juggler, so we are going
Yeah,
to agree in
yeah.
everything all the time. I will tell you 441, and you will tell me, yeah, of course, 441, 531, 752. So I am trying today to think and make a reflection how we are seen from the outside,
Hmm.
how we can share what we have discovered.
Hmm.
Because if you ask two people, and I've asked this question many times, uh, how has juggling changed your life, or what is juggling for you, or how that had juggling or has juggling changed your life, or what would you do if you wouldn't juggle? And the answers were very scary, actually. I asked this to the younger communities, like from 18 to 25 or whatever is the age, or to adults too, if juggling was not there. And the answers were very scary. We're like, maybe I would be a criminal, or some, but really, like there's a part, and I am doing a lot of research today in social circles, and we are doing projects with the foundation. We've done them in Kenya, in Argentina. It's the Victor Key Foundation. So Victor, the juggler,
Hmm.
right? And we were now in Cirque du Domaine presenting it, and this is a wonderful one, but that I can tell you later, so not to mix so much. But again, to this point, when you think about Wes, and I remember Wes when he was like this, we even did the World Juggling Federation many million years ago. And the point is, he's still inside. He is inside now with water, with a show that they do with,
Hmm.
uh, and it's great. They are going. But if today you think as back crosses, you know why everybody liked back crosses before, and then you did it or you don't. It was like because they look awesome. You juggle, you do tricks in front, and suddenly you throw three balls from your back to the front, and people do wow. It's a wow effect.
Hmm.
Somehow it's something there. And again, to think about, you know who is the one that I saw that he was kind of doing some juggling and being really, really, really far away? And probably it's going to sound Steve-O. You know a guy called Steve-O? One of the Jackass.
Steve-O, is he the one
Or
that does
Jackass.
beatbox stuff?
No, no,
No,
no. He's from Jackass. You know Jackass, the series? The
no,
series. It's a US series that was in MTV.
no. Oh, Jackass, Steve-O, Steve-O. Got it. Yes.
Bueno, you know, he was able to juggle. He knows how to juggle and he knows how to do backflips.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. And he has done it in many videos and in many of these MTV and stuff. And for me, if you ask me today, like a dream come true or something that I would like put some sense to happen in this lifetime, would be that everybody juggles
Yeah.
at least once. You know,
Sure.
I like that people learn how to juggle, that people learn the perseverance that there is inside there, the connecting with other people. When you juggle, there's no more other language, there's
Mm,
no countries, there's no boundaries,
mm,
there's no colors, there's no political factor. You don't need to go inside anything. It doesn't matter if you have, if I have, economical situation.
mhm.
You know, there's this, and you, me, even I can have balls and you don't, and suddenly, you know, and well, that sounded bad. Sorry, but you understand. Sorry, but it can go around there for
We're
me
talking
today.
about juggling. That
We
is
are
bound to
balls.
happen.
Great, and I would like everyone
Did
that
you
to juggle.
see
I would like,
last week there was a video posted of AJ Green juggling? AJ Green's a football player,
uh-huh.
a really famous football player in the U.S. Like American football, and yeah, he's like he was juggling all sorts of things, and it was cool to like see somebody like that juggling. And I've heard the Justin Bieber juggles. Not that that's really necessarily a great thing for the community, but you know, people like
People,
that, higher profile people, kind of showing that it's not actually weird to juggle. It's something that everyone should do.
at least to try it, or I found that for me it has done a lot of good, and I think it does good to everyone. You
Hmm.
know, it's like if you tell me, walking is not good, yeah, man, go and walk, it clears your mind. Go and climb a mountain. You know, it's good. Go and hug a tree, go and pet a dog. You know, they're good things. It's good. Nature is good, animals are good, and juggling is good, or at least I really believe on that.
Yeah.
That's why, taking it far away with all these Juggler World Traveler, what is important for me is, with the trips and everything, slow by slow, to try to make people juggle.
Hmm.
Actually, I would like to tell them about this wonderful world that we are all part, and but we are not a big community. Huh? Juggling is not as big as we think,
Hmm.
but then it's not as small as we think. But the industries still struggle. The whole circus is also like, oh yeah, but it's not so much compare if you see other arts. I believe that circus is an art by itself, and actually is the art that blends all the arts together. Because when you do circus today, you have video projection, you have live music, you have actors, you have clowns, you have acrobats, and all this is a fusion today. You know, like you cannot do only a backflip today, or at least, yes you can, but it's more interesting when you mix it with other things. That's why when we were the 2 minutes we talked with Sagi was like, are you developing a character? What are you presenting on stage? Going on stage today and doing 20 million tricks, bueno, yeah, happy that there are still people that do that, and I hope they do the 20 million best tricks there. And it's part of it. You know, there's not only one thing. Juggling is not only one. It's not only educational. It's not only artistic. It's not only expression. It's all these parts. There's even juggling therapy. There's a lot of juggling that is developing with all these neuro connections and rehab. You know, there's a lot of interesting places around there too.
So what is the URL for your YouTube channel so people can go there?
The what? Sorry.
How can people? What's the name of your YouTube channel?
The YouTube channel is called Juggler World Traveler.
Juggler World
And
Traveler.
yeah, that was a name that someone gave to it. I have a creative producer. I have someone that sends me a script. It's not so free because, as you see, I can talk a lot. So, and I don't edit the material. So what I do is I create a lot of footage, but I talk about other things too. I talk about food. I talk about manta rays, and well, now in Australia especially, but now Mexico is being edited, and also we were with turtles. You know the hatchkins, the small turtles, and we were freeing them into the water now.
Oh, cool.
And man, that is amazing. That is like 20 million ball cascade. You know, seeing these turtles going inside the water, and you're like, wow. But I'm very marveled by life
Mhm.
mainly today, and juggling is still a research and is wonderful. And now I saw fabulous acts. The Diabolo person, you know, the one that is doing very special things, Guillaume, I think he's called.
Mhm.
And then the Taiwanese guy that won gold medal now also. And I find beautiful the research, and I think it's great. But for me today, it's what can we communicate with juggling, or what can we say with juggling, or what do people see
Mhm.
when we juggle? Is there something in common, or it's everything different for everyone?
Mhm.
It's so strange how jugglers we are used to dropping so much because, but for me today, if someone sees me juggle, I don't care what trick I do. For me, it's important to finish uh, without that beautiful word that is to drop. And I believe that the whole experience is there today, or I remember from before when I was juggling so many hours, that we think that we start to juggle, we do the amazing trick, and then we don't care anymore, and then we drop, but we manage the amazing trick. So, and it's wait, you need to close what you
Mhm.
started, because the whole experience of seeing a performer is till the end, is till the salute. And when you juggle for someone else, for me the responsibility is the same one. You need to be responsible for the experience you give someone, and it's not like, all right, oh, I fall down. Para. How many times do you think that normal people see jugglers? And it's not all the time. Here there's a lot that juggle in the traffic light and stuff, yeah, but it's not every day that you see jugglers.
Right.
So, well,
And especially not in the U.S.
oh, really?
Yeah, very few and far between. Yeah, you're pretty much only going to see jugglers at the circus here. Um, when
Wow.
when people find out I juggle, the first thing they ask is, "Are you a clown?" And it's like, nope, not the same. It's
It would be very interesting to understand. I've heard this many times from people from the US, to understand how this has joined.
mm,
Because if you go to other countries, the answer is not the same.
yeah,
Here, for example, it's like, oh, they give you like a hat, you know, and they, okay, now we collect money. They think more about the economical factor and see how, for you, it's, are you a clown?
hmm
That's very interesting. Would be very interesting to think about it. Why? Why are we seen like this in other countries? I think it's a very good question. How normal people see us
yeah.
jugglers?
And it certainly hasn't been like that all the time either. Like you think back to like the gentleman juggler era, and like that definitely was not clowning, and that was a real time in the U.S. history. So I don't know why that is the way it is. But here's another question from
Yeah.
Maurizio Orlando. You've done. I'm gonna kind of sum up this question. You've done a lot of different juggling stuff: site swaps, dance juggling, variety acts, company acts, working with kids, etc. So you have a good perspective to kind of predict where the future of juggling is going. Where do you see? Obviously, there could be several trajectories, but right now, where do you see the juggling developing?
Wow. Where is juggling going to go? Where is developing? Oh la la. How? Let's see. Let's talk the answer. You know, tell you what I'm thinking nonstop. There's a juggling conventions that is kind of our world. There's the industry around there that is creating all these new props. Today there's total information and open source on the internet about certain things, mainly about tricks. It would be awesome for all the professionals to keep on giving information about professional life. Because if not, then we all keep on doing amazing tricks, but then nobody works on that, and then everybody finish doing another work, and there's a glitch. There's a glitch, interesting maybe for a next time to talk about, that is train 6 years and then suddenly you become a nurse or whatever, and it's great. I'm not complaining about that, but I remember about a US friend that he was amazing, amazing, and he must be still amazing, but he had to leave, and economically he didn't make it as a juggler. So he got a normal job, and then I keep on juggling, but I'm a normal. And this has happened with so many. There are so many examples. And so going back, where is juggling going? Where is going to go? Is it growing? The community is really growing. And this is so much inside information because, with so many juggling shops, I am inside the juggling industries in so many years. Because if we don't understand our history, if we don't understand our industry, if we don't understand our community, and we don't understand who consumes our product, let's say, there was a lot missing. Juggling is not only throwing objects to the air, and becoming a professional artist is not only having fun for juggling. You need to do million, trillion things to create your own show, to be your own director, your own light regisseur, your own metteur en scène, so many things. Where is the juggling community going, or where is juggling going? So many new things have been developed the last years. Some props have been developed also.
So I think maybe to kind of hone in on this a little bit, because the question's so broad, and you said you talked before the interview. You said you talked about this a lot, but I think that this is the main thing that's happening right now, and that is the hobby juggler versus the circus juggler, and how, and I would say the internet's played a huge role in that development of juggling. And so kind of talking about, I have
it. I cut you on the last and I jump on your thought. Today we have been developing to make the juggling go inside the gym classes in the school. The gym, when you have gym like athleticism, we made a capacitación, so we gave a workshop for 120 teachers. Only teachers, no jugglers. And we teach them how they can teach juggling to the kids. So we are pushing to put juggling inside the institution, inside the system. If we push to put juggling inside the system, all as jugglers, we will be part of the system in an educative way. So I think that there's a very beautiful road over there. The new generations are doing the same as every new generation that is taking all the records and pushing them to new levels. And the new generations rock it, triple pirouette, tiki tiki tuku tuku. When I was there, man, I remember logging into the internet, and there was a place that said how many people had thrown 10 balls. This is how I logged in the juggling community. I was coming from sports, so everything was a competition for me. So how many people in the world can do this, to check the world records? That moment was 11 balls. Today, it's 13, I think. And in the world at that time, in that database, it said that there were less than 10 people that could juggle 10 balls. Less than 10 that did a 10-ball flash. I was thinking, wow, I can be part of a group of 11 people in the world that did something. I didn't care what it was. It would have been put a finger inside a glass, But for me, it was awesome. And I pushed myself for 2 years before I did my first 10-ball flash. 2 years, man, 2 years. And I felt I was part of someone. It was when, Ben Beaver, a big friend, and Peter Bone. This was a long time ago. And bueno, today, 10 balls, it's still complex. It
Yeah.
still take a little a run to do it. But new generations are developing super fast, and we know it. The industry keeps on developing. The same brands are still there. I think that there's an educative place that will. I'm not telling you anything new. It's the same as always. Education will grow, art will go, new and experimental will keep on growing. But I hope for us that we can tell the outside world how juggling has a therapeutic property, how juggling helps you in a set of mind. It slows you down too. I don't know if you know about this, but in Wall Street there was a moment that it was like a small boom that everybody juggled 3 balls, like to rest, because they were so stressed that they would grab 3 balls and do and fall down and that would give them like a moment of 5 minutes of totally think about something else, and it was so demanding to juggle, and suddenly they went back to work and they were super efficient. I
Hmm.
don't know
I didn't
if
know that. No, that's awesome.
very strange, huh?
I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah. Maybe this was like 5 years ago. I don't remember anymore. Uh, but I believe that there's a lot in juggling that we can work it out very related to meditation to slow it down. We were about to open a place in Canada with acrylic balls, like what Michael Motion, big, all this stuff. Bueno, you know that there's the Chinese balls to do this and that relaxes. The
Hmm.
ones with the ding ding
Yep.
ding inside. Bueno, what about creating something like that and going to a place to meditate where we call this rolling here, yeah, multiple, and where you sit down and everybody sits down and we all do this. And
Hmm.
it's not called juggling or object manipulation. It's just you sit down and you roll bones in your hand. You call it how you want, I call it how I want. But half an hour of just take it easy, slow down. If you are accelerated, you drop. The drop is related to that. When the technique is correct and suddenly something goes wrong and you say, you have it inside. You know how to juggle. If you have trained for so long, then you know how to do it. Then it's a matter of setting yourself to that moment.
Hmm.
And if you're able to do that, yeah, then that is technique.
So we've got a lot of different places. Well, we can say for sure that juggling is going in a much more technical direction, and it has been, and it'll continue to. But we can also hope that we'll be able to integrate juggling into regular everyday things. And I think that's something that we should probably work towards as a community. And your video, your YouTube channel, I think is a great example of that. You guys should definitely check it out. I really liked it. I'm looking forward to more. And while my channel is primarily focused at jugglers, I also hope that there can be eventually an aspect of creating inroads for future jugglers. Now we have reached around the end of the time that we have time to talk. So I want to ask you a couple last questions. And the first one, and this has been great. We're going to have you on again. And I think with like a panel of people, because you have so much to say and I want to hear it all. I don't know
That
about
would be
everybody
awesome.
else. For everybody that's still here, if you leave a comment, you'll be entered to win some cool stuff. Okay, so in 5 years, when you look back on your juggling career, what do you want to say you were able to accomplish or that you did accomplish?
I hope that I can say I was happy.
Okay.
Apart that I had sweet drops, and for me, if you ask me today about, I wanted to say something about me performing today, what I like to perform, and for me, the performance today starts with dropping. So I like to go on stage. I perform very few times my solo, let's say, and it's 40 minutes where I juggle. I juggle and I improvise, and I do the best I can like mindfulness. I think it's a streaming of consciousness.
Hmm.
Let's say streaming of consciousness. Have you seen jugglers when they are training and suddenly they drop, but they pick it up in a special way, and you see that they're still juggling, that the juggling continues even if there's a drop.
Hmm.
It- They do the whole pattern, but something I'm interested in that as a way of explaining something that happens in our mind, and let's say in our spirit, where we keep on going. There is a super analogy between life and juggling. And I remember a person told me once, uh, juggling is like life. When you drop, you pick it up and you continue juggling. And that's life. When you drop, you pick it up and you continue juggling.
Hmm.
And no, that is a nice. I can make a post there just so to think about that. And yeah, I take that analogy very deep today in
Hmm.
me. I think we are always improvising in life, and we are taking it like that. We can structure things a lot, but in the end,
Hmm.
no, we never know. So,
Yep. So
mhm.
you want to be able to look back and see that there's parallels between your juggling life and your real life, and that you've picked up whatever happened, or what, any sort of struggle that you ran into, but you got up and you tried again and you made it work.
Yeah,
You kept going.
exactly. That sounds really nice.
Okay,
And yeah.
go ahead.
Because then it could be like on sharing the juggling and helping other jugglers. Helping sounds strange,
Mm,
but giving advice sounds strange because it means that you also like know something about
right, right.
telling something about my road
Hmm.
would be.
Well, I really like to think of, especially in my experience with the online community, um, that together, as we share our what we're working on, and make comments about what's going on, that like no juggler is most jugglers aren't saying, oh, here's some advice that you could use, but just saying, oh, here's something I tried. I don't know, kind of thinking about how, like, as a community we move forward just by talking through things and encouraging each other. So um being more a, if the community is a body, being more, a hand or an arm, and just playing your role and moving that community forward.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's wrong to say helping people or giving people advice, because yeah, we all have different things to offer. um what is your final word of inspiration to the juggling community at large?
juggle a lot. Juggling your dreams as much as you can. Pukacha, are you still there? I don't know what happened. Juggle. Ah, there you are.
I'm back. I don't know what
Okay.
I don't know what happened. All right, so your answer was juggle, and then that's where we cut off.
Juggle in your dreams, juggle while you're awake, and juggle emotions, juggle feelings, and share, share all that you have found so others can keep on finding.
Awesome. Fantastic. Okay, now where can people find you and find your stuff?
Well, actually, the fan page in Facebook is going really good. It has been a project I started 1 year ago, and I started making you. If you want to learn a trick, you send me the trick or what you want to learn, and I was making tutorials. Last
Mm.
year, I did 100 tutorials.
Wow.
Yeah, and all by request. Huh? So it's
Wow.
like, and I'm like, for example, now there was a guy that told me, Marco, can you do 4 ball bouncing Miles mess? And I was like, yeah, it cannot be so hard, I can do it. And I'm like, man. I'm training the trick just to make the tutorial for this guy that I think it was called Sebastian or Diego or Gonzalo that I met. And I told him I will do this one. So normally if I know how to do it, if I don't know, I say like, no, man, I cannot do that trick.
Mhm.
But I keep on, I have a long list of all these requests for tutorials. And I feel very happy that it was not me that started saying, okay, learn this trick, learn this trick, learn this variation. Okay, 10 variations of box, and now I do 1, 2, 3, 4. If they keep on asking for box variations, yeah, there's a lot that can be said, and I would like to keep on going. So there in the Facebook fan page, there's a lot. There's a YouTube channel also, and now well, all these new, it's more adventures, less juggling focused. Actually, you saw in the first video there's maybe 20 seconds of juggling, but it's nice to see the life of a juggler. What has happened after 14 years of decisions. And actually, I like a lot to tell this, that is, I started juggling in the traffic light, and from there, today I'm a professional circus artist. And I've never gave up. I always picked it up and continued juggling. And I would recommend everyone that is juggling is not only juggling. It's not only that. It's a lot more, and it's englobing. It's like such a beautiful hug. All the community traveling. The first thing that I did was to go to all the juggling conventions in the world, because I wanted to see who were these crazy people that were as crazy as me. Or let's put it in a nicer way, who are all these wonderful people? But because I wanted to find them, and I wanted to meet them, and I wanted to meet the Germans and the French and the Italians and the Americans, because they're all different, each community is different, very special from each other. There you have your baby.
Yeah, she hears me on the other side of that door and she wants to get in.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that is good for now. I need to go and grab her too. So,
Yeah.
Again, we're definitely gonna have you on again. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and check out my channel, Everyday Juggler, for more cool interviews, and the IJA channel for all the great stuff there. And until next time, keep on juggling.